Why did a single bullet in Sarajevo plunge the entire world into a war that claimed 20 million lives? How did one summer of madness, ego, and miscalculation lead to the near-total destruction of a generation? Today, we're going to unravel the story of World War I in just 10 minutes. We'll expose the real players behind the scenes, the men whose ambitions and failures ignited the conflict, and the one man who came so close to stopping it all. Let's start with the spark. June 28, 1914. Archduke Franz Ferdinand, heir to the Austro-Hungarian throne, is visiting Sarajevo. He's not particularly popular, seen as a reformer who might grant more rights to the Slavic peoples within the empire. For Serbian nationalists dreaming of their own independent state, this was a threat. A group of young radicals, armed by a shadowy organization known as the Black Hand, decided to act. Their first attempt that morning was a clumsy failure. A bomb bounced off the Archduke's car and exploded under the vehicle behind it, injuring several people. Any sensible person would have cancelled the rest of the visit and left the city immediately. But Franz Ferdinand, ever the dutiful soldier, insisted on visiting the injured in the hospital. This decision would prove fatal. Due to a catastrophic miscommunication, his driver took a wrong turn. As the car slowly tried to reverse on a narrow street, it stopped directly in front of a small cafe, and who happened to be standing right there, having given up on the assassination plot. A 19-year-old named Gavrilo Princip. He couldn't believe his luck. He stepped forward, drew his pistol, and fired 2 shots. One hit the Archduke in the neck. The other hit his wife, Sophie. Both were dead within minutes. Princip, the young assassin, had just lit the fuse of a global powder keg, but a fuse is useless without the powder. So, who packed the powder? Let's turn to Germany and its leader, Kaiser Wilhelm II. The Kaiser was a complex figure, insecure, bombastic, and obsessed with matching the naval power of his cousin, King George V of Great Britain. He had a withered arm from a traumatic birth, which many historians believe fueled a deep-seated need to prove his strength and masculinity. When Austria-Hungary, Germany's ally, came to him fuming over the assassination, Wilhelm gave them what history now calls the blank check. He promised unconditional German support for whatever action Austria decided to take against Serbia. He imagined a quick, localized war that would teach the Serbs a lesson and make Germany look strong. He was catastrophically wrong. He didn't want a world war, but his reckless gamble made it almost inevitable. Across the continent, in Russia, we have another key player, Tsar Nicholas II. Like his cousin Wilhelm, Nicholas was an autocrat, ruling a vast, complex empire. He saw himself as the protector of all Slavic peoples, including the Serbs. When Austria-Hungary, backed by Germany, delivered an impossible ultimatum to Serbia, the Tsar felt he had to act. His generals were itching for a fight, convinced that Russia's massive army could crush Austria. Pressured from all sides and bound by a web of alliances, Nicholas ordered the mobilization of his forces. This was the critical step. In the rigid military planning of 1914, mobilization meant war. Once the trains started rolling, carrying millions of soldiers to the frontiers, it was nearly impossible to stop them. The German generals, led by Helmuth von Moltke the Younger, were watching Russia's mobilization with alarm. Moltke was a grim, pessimistic man, haunted by the legacy of his famous uncle, who had masterminded Germany's unification. He was convinced that a war with Russia and its ally, France, was unavoidable. Germany's only hope, according to their infamous Schlieffen Plan, was to knock France out of the war quickly by invading through neutral Belgium, and then turn their full might against the slow-to-mobilize Russians. So, when Russia mobilized, Moltke saw it as his moment. He pressured the hesitant Kaiser, arguing that they had to strike first. Germany declared war on Russia, and then on France, setting their Great War Plan into motion. The invasion of Belgium was the final straw. This brings us to the man who could have stopped it all, Sir Edward Grey, the British Foreign Secretary. For weeks, As the crisis escalated, Gray worked tirelessly behind the scenes. He was a reserved, quiet diplomat, more at home birdwatching than navigating the explosive politics of Europe. He proposed a four-power conference, a summit where Britain, Germany, France, and Italy could mediate the dispute between Austria and Serbia. He pleaded with the Kaiser and the Tsar to pull back from the brink. For a moment, it almost worked. The German ambassador in London sent a frantic telegram to Berlin, conveying Gray's desperate, last-minute proposal. The message suggested that if Germany could guarantee France's neutrality, Britain would remain neutral as well. The Kaiser, finally realizing the horrifying scale of the war he was about to unleash, seized this lifeline. He ordered Moltke to halt the invasion of the West, but Moltke was horrified. He told the Kaiser, "Your Majesty, it cannot be done. The deployment of millions cannot be improvised." The entire German war machine was already in motion, a complex, unstoppable timetable of trains and troops headed west. To stop now, he argued, would be to invite chaos and leave Germany defenseless. Faced with his top general's insubordination, the weak-willed Kaiser caved. The trains kept rolling. The invasion of Belgium went ahead. Germany's violation of Belgian neutrality outraged Britain. Sir Edward Grey stood before Parliament and gave a somber, powerful speech. Britain, the world's greatest empire, could not stand by and watch a small, neutral nation be crushed. On August 4, 1914, Britain declared war on Germany. The World War had begun. A conflict that was supposed to be over by Christmas would drag on for 4 blood-soaked years, toppling empires, redrawing the map of the world, and leaving a scar on the human psyche that has never truly healed. From a teenager's pistol to a Kaiser's ego, from generals eager for war to a diplomat's failed plea for peace. The path to World War I was paved by a series of tragic choices. It serves as a chilling reminder of how quickly our world can unravel. The weight of that history is immense, and it's something we should never forget. If you felt that weight, if this story moved you, drop the word Johanna in the comments. We're building a community, a tribe of people who want to learn, grow, and understand the forces that shape our world. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell, because our next video goes even deeper into the darkness of history.